So I want to address about Euro's point. He said that because the loss of Moskva or Moscow, that's why they lost control of Snake Island. I think it's the opposite. The loss of Moscow or Moskva was a signal that the Russian Navy cannot stay in that area of the Black Sea, because the surface to surface missile is going to hit every single ship eventually. So which is why the Black Sea Fleet have to retreat southward. If not, then they might get hit, just like the Moskva. Moskva is a very huge vessel. It's a big target to hit. So eventually all these surface to surface missiles will eventually hit the smaller ship. So it's safer just to leave, which basically gave control of the northern side of the Black Sea to the Ukrainians. So I think it's the opposite. It's not because they lost Moscow, then they lost the sea. It's actually they lost the sea, which is why they lost Moscow. Something like this.
Yeah. We should not forget the political aspect of all these things, if we are honest. I mean, for Ukraine, it's always important to gain any victory. And every ship the Russians are losing, if it's on Crimean ports or every land or so-called bridgeheads on the other side of the river, are so important for the Ukrainians on gaining attention, on gaining more support. So we should not forget that. We can always talk about the military aspect, but this is a political war too. For Ukrainians, it's important to gain support from the West, to get more money from the West, more aid from the West. So we should not forget that and all the things we are discussing right now.
Yeah, I mean, if like you're saying, and like everybody's made good points, I mean, we all look at it like, why aren't they doing this? This makes strategic sense, or this makes sense in the battle plan. Why are they hitting this ship that's less valuable and not that ship? I mean, the Moskva was an embarrassment. They lost that ship. It looks bad. It also lets them know that they don't have free reign in the Black Sea. The other two ships they lost, granted, it's a landing ship that they probably weren't going to use, and the other one's a sub. But the point is it's just, maybe they're using this time to analyze these new surface vessels that Russia's putting out, see how they operate, keeping them hemmed up. Maybe that limits the range they can attack. I mean, all these targets they go after, I mean, it's all for show. I mean, you're like, why don't they hit these smaller ships that can launch 30 Zircons? I mean, it might be because they're better protected. Why are they going after the naval headquarters, which is empty, when they could be going after this or that? It's because they have to do the showboat stuff. That's why they have like 5 tiny bridgeheads on the Kherson, and they make you think that they try to make it sound like there's this massive invasion going across the river. They can't hit those valuable ships maybe because they're too well protected. So they've got to hit the shitty ship that's in dry dock or the naval headquarters or whatever. It's like they've just got to make the splash to get the money and keep the morale up and keep the support going. And I mean, because think about it. Look at all the offensives they've done, everything they do. I mean, most of the time we're sitting here scratching our head like, why would you keep going down this road in this valley in Robotny every day when you can see what happened to everybody that went the day before that and the day before that and the day before that on, pick an offensive, where they just kept going in and getting killed. Look at Bakhmut. It's like, everyone's like, why are they doing this? I mean, they got to hold because it's the publicity. They got to hold the Divka for the publicity.
So Vaughn is actually correct. Pravda, the Ukrainian media, basically published article which actually went pretty far, pretty popular. They claim that they have captured 3 to 8 kilometers, depending on where you are in the geography, along the Kherson front, south of the Dnipro River. Basically, it is actually where they were. Why I always reporting, but it's important for them to show that 3 to 8 kilometers. But most of those parts might be just those empty islands that is like useless places. So, or south from Dachi,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these places, these guys are occupying single buildings. They're running around in the marshes. They're not in these big fortifications, fending off Russians. They're just a few guys here, a few guys here. They're going back and forth on rubber boats in like small groups. I mean, but they're gonna 3 to 8 kilometers. It's just like the other day they said they widened out the Robotny salient a little bit, and I looked at it. I'm like, oh, wow, ooh, a couple 100 yards or another tree line. And then the next day, whoever was in that tree line is probably dead now. So, it'll change back because it's
that's
like
the point. That's
they're
the
not
point.
even going anywhere. I mean, it's like even Herlivka. You talked about Herlivka. Why are they going there? Probably because there's no Russians there. I mean, they're only going to go so far, then they're going to hit resistance. If you look past that area of Herlivka that they've got, I mean, it doesn't really look like the kind of terrain that would be good for them to keep pushing. And I mean, plus they ain't got the manpower or the offensive ability to go very far. So again, it's just another, oh, look, we recaptured Herlivka. We got this and that. And they might hold on to it for a while until somewhere else gets desperate for people. Then they got to pull them off, and then they'll fall back, and then the Russians will probably reoccupy it. And
they are unlikely to even
Russians don't build zircon-only ships. That's to me the kind of waste.
No, but I'm saying I mean on that.
They usually build.
We are talking about PR overall. We're talking
about PR strategically. You'd be like, why aren't they shooting the ships that fire cruise missiles? Why are they shooting ships that aren't? Because the Moskva doesn't have any land attack capability. So what was the point? Why not hit one of them destroyers or something? But like I said, maybe they're better protected, so that's why they go for the easy stuff. Plus, it's a flat, it makes a big splash in the paper.
But we don't know how much, what they used. I heard that they used multiple Bayraktar drones against Moskva, then some surface drones.
It's definitely surface-to-surface missile.
I heard that they used two multiple things. I heard that they used two Neptune missiles, and it was brand new, and the Russians didn't expect it.
I think the Bayraktars were there just to give them like final positioning and stuff.
Giving destruction.
Anything other than that. I mean, and now they don't have Bayraktars; they're using the Global Hawk. Because every time the Global Hawk pops up, all of a sudden there's a raid or something, So it's like the Russians probably figured that out too, which is again another stupid thing. It's like, oh, I wonder if they're coming today. Yeah, the Global Hawk's up 4-day 11. Oh, they must be coming. So and then what do? They put up some Su-25s or 35s or whatever, and they just fly around.
Only if they come close.
Coming.
Only if they come close. They don't send them if they stay far away.
I know, but I'm just saying. I mean, I'm sure they figured it out.
Close.
When the drone's nearby, the drones or boats are coming, or the commando raid's coming, because they can't send Bayraktars anymore, so they got to use us.
I believe they flying all the time, pretty much. They just shift in between which is flying at that particular time. I believe they're all the time on the Black Sea in territorial, international waters of the Black Sea, which is not allowed to attack by any.
But I mean, if it was a Bayraktar, they'd shoot it down.